Welcome to the Daily Transfer Show. I'm your host, Miles. I'm joined here by our chief correspondent, Peter Staunton. We're going to kick off with some breaking news that's just come in, which is Theo Walcott signing for, well, he's about to sign.
Deal
Everton.
agreed.
Deal agreed. 20 million to Everton. They're essentially waiting to confirm it to seal the deal for Mkhitaryan, aren't they? So it's essentially going to be Walcott out, Alexis out, Mkhitaryan in, maybe Aubameyang in.
Yeah, you would take that if you're an Arsenal fan, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, if somebody said at the start of this transfer window, Sanchez has been a disruptive influence in the dressing room. Walcott has been, well,
Completely absent,
Walcott, really. And you would say that Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang, two players that know each other quite well, signed by the same guy for Dortmund back in the day, Sven Mislintat, who, by happy coincidence, is now chief scout, or I think that's his title, at Arsenal.
Essentially, chief scout.
So he knows these guys. I'm sure there's been conversations had about the attraction of going to the Emirates and what they can do together there for next season. And Everton, I think they definitely need Walcott. Their attack, I mean, they're as slow as a week in the jail. So they do need to get some pace in on the wings. I know they've got Balassi back, but he's so far away from full fitness after his bad injury, so it should be a good deal all round. 20 million for Walcott!
That's mental.
I know, we talk about insane prices. That might be the most outrageous.
I forget how old he is. I think he's like 28 now.
He's 28, but he feels like he's been around forever. He's a bit like Donny Osmond. He's just always been there on the landscape.
In terms of Mkhitaryan, then, this is one that's sort of been coming around quite fast now. So Jose Mourinho last night dropped a big hint that he was on his way out when he said that I would lie to you if I said that dropping him was a purely tactical decision. I don't think it's easy for a player to play when there's doubts about his future. It's added pressure. I think it's best for him and us while doubt is in the air to protect him.
It's just not going to happen for Mkhitaryan under Mourinho. I think we figured that out within a few weeks. He had a bad performance in the derby last year at home, a game I was at, and he didn't close down. I think it was Kolarov for one of the goals that City scored. And from that moment on, I think he was out of the team for maybe 2.5-3 months. And every week people were asking, "Where's Mkhitaryan?" And Mourinho just wouldn't put him in the team. And I don't think he's ever really been fully on board with what kind of player Mkhitaryan is. So, he needs a better manager for him. I'm not saying
someone who trusts him.
I don't mean a better manager. I think the football philosophy of the two of them is not going to fit. But like I said yesterday, I think this could be a worry about Özil for Arsenal, because if they get Mkhitaryan in, are they going to put him and Özil in the same team together after this summer? Who knows? But
wouldn't play Mkhitaryan out wide. You'd want him in the middle.
You can't play Mkhitaryan out wide, and that's what Mourinho has shown. He doesn't have the pace to play outside. He's not. To play outside at Man United, you need to be someone like Antonio Valencia. Really vertical player, full of pace and power, ready to get to be as ready to block at one end as you are to cross in at the other. And Mkhitaryan's not that kind of player.
So you can't see, well, in terms of the way that Aubameyang would be introduced.
Yeah.
How do you see him getting into the team? Do you see him being competition for Lacazette, or will he be a wide?
Aubameyang is better than Alexis Sanchez.
Really? Is that what you say?
I'm saying it straight down the barrel of the camera. Yeah. Aubameyang's better than Alexis Sanchez. He's a more intelligent player. His movement is better. He's quicker. He's more of an all-round team player. It's a great deal. If they get Alexis out and Aubameyang in, that is a fantastic deal for Arsenal, and he would suit them down to the ground the way they play. You know what? They could possibly be. I can imagine him sort of drifting maybe towards the left side of the attack, and a player of that pace, of that skill. I think you could be looking at almost like an Henry 2.0 for Arsenal here. I can't emphasise how good a signing this can be for Arsenal if they can get it over the line. And we know that Aubameyang is he's due to meet Borussia Dortmund today to clarify what's going on. He's been fined twice in the last year. For the latest one is for not showing up to a team meeting on Saturday. We think he's been fined something like €100,000 for failing to turn up for that. So one way or another, over the next couple of days, we'll know what's going on with Aubameyang. But Mislintat has that inside line. Yeah,
it's been an interesting couple of days to be an Arsenal fan, because at the weekend, obviously, lost to Bournemouth. Was not a particularly good result at all. However, like the rumours that have been coming out since then, it seems like Malcolm is essentially almost a done deal now. They might have beaten Manchester United and Man City to his signing. It could be a good window for us.
Yeah, Bordeaux still playing hardball, saying that the price is going to have to go up a little bit higher if they're going to lose him in winter. But he is under a long-term contract up Bordeaux, and let's not kid ourselves. The clubs at that level of the French league, they're not building teams to win titles. They're building players to sell them on. So sooner or later, Malcolm is going to make his move.
So over Old Trafford, we had our Manchester United correspondent Chris Vokes at the game last night when they beat Stoke City 3-0, I believe.
Yeah, 3-0 was a pretty good performance. Pogba was
Yeah.
Best midfielder in the league for my money.
Chris was speaking to some Man United fans ahead of the game, essentially finding out what they thought about the Alexis Sanchez transfer. Here are some of their thoughts.
I like him, but I'm not the hugest fan of him. I wouldn't mind having him there, but I know everyone's getting hyped, but I wouldn't mind if... I think it'd be good at United, but I don't 100% really want him, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't see why he won't offer a bit of flair to the side. I know we've got it in Martial and other players, but why not more the merrier, I see.
Well, we've got a gap on the right side. He's good enough to play on that right side, but I don't want him coming as a sacrifice for Martial. Because Martial, to me, is top, and he'll be better than Sanchez at the same age.
Incredible player, 29 years old.
Will not.
Still has a lot to give, and we definitely need some wingers. So yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't mind seeing Mkhitaryan go the other way, to be honest, if that was part of the deal. But I heard that Martial might be somebody they might want to get rid of, and I wouldn't want that, to be honest with you.
I think Mkhitaryan was there, so he'll play well for them. I think it's a big loss losing Mkhitaryan. But if you're getting a player like Sanchez for the guts of 30 million, it's always going to be a good buy.
Well, it's a bit of a tough one really, because Matt has not been playing well, but I think Rashford's had a bit of a quiet one so far, so I think they fit him in there and probably bring him in on the left side. I can't see him replacing Lukaku.
I think he'd go on the right, or he could put him as number 10 behind Lukaku, and then have Martial on the left, and then maybe Pogba and Matic behind.
Absolutely, he's always welcome in my books. I think, it's someone that we need. Hopefully he'll get everybody else going as well.
Rashford and Martial's losing their spot if he comes, because Sanchez is world class and he's always going to start in the team like United.
You think he's going across the city?
Yeah, well, I thought Gary Neville summed it up well when he said that he wants to play for Guardiola. That's the difference.
Yeah, the problem is that
and want to play for United.
But we need him. We need him more than City need him.
Because where's he going to play in City? You know what I'm saying? They got so many firepower.
Okay.
I mean, we need this guy here to attack. City have loads of attack.
So it's Martial that you drop out the team for Sanchez?
No, because I think he's a striker. You've been playing Rashford on the left as well, and I don't think Rashford's a winger either. We've not had that proper out-and-out winger in quite a while.
To be honest, I think it's better for him as a player anyway, because City's got a solid team, and if he wants to get more game time and more trophies next year, he's got to come to Man United, hasn't he? It's the way forward.
Make sure the audio's back. Alright, so there's some thoughts from Man United fans. There's some mixed thoughts there. Not everybody's convinced that he's going to be a top player, but a lot of people seem like they'd be pretty excited about him joining.
The thing is that this bidding war has kind of skirted over is the fact that Alexis, I know he scored some big away goals for Arsenal this year, Crystal Palace, Burnley, for example, to the top of my mind. Yeah. But he's not actually really been firing on all cylinders,
No. But it's understandable. He really wanted to leave last summer. He was
really
kept against his will.
But, I think I'd have him sort of in that bracket beneath world class. If I'm looking at Man United... if I'm Jose, well, obviously Mourinho doesn't really believe in promoting youth, but if I'm somebody who's safeguarding the future of Man United, would I rather spend another 18 months trying to make sure that Rashford becomes the forward we know Rashford can be, or would I bring in a 29-year-old on 400,000 a week to take his place in the team?
That's always been Mourinho's way.
It's always been Mourinho's way, yeah. But I would persevere personally with Rashford. I think he's got the potential to become a far better player than Alexis is.
So it's been an interesting development in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
We pretty much thought at this point yesterday that Man City surprisingly were out of the running. Man United had a pretty clear run to sign Alexis Sanchez. And now, pretty out of the blue, Chelsea are all of a sudden in the mix.
Another spanner in the works, yeah. But there's still some dispute over whether Chelsea are really going to...
How legit.
Yeah, well, whether they're going to make this bid, they're going to ramp it up and make things difficult for United, or whether it's a bit of hot air coming out of Man City. But so that remains to be seen. I would still at this stage expect Alexis to end up in Man United. But then 2 days ago I said
a week ago we thought Man City nailed on.
Yeah.
I'm expecting
everyone did, to be fair.
In 48 hours, I'm kind of expecting PSG to suddenly launch a crazy 50 million bid just to go sign him in January, and essentially he goes there. Anything could happen at this stage.
Well, then you've got Draxler there as well, who was at the NBA the other night with all the Arsenal players, with Kolasinac and he was there with Kolasinac and with Mustafi. So you can imagine they were putting. I saw Lacazette was there as well with Griezmann, but don't get your hopes up, Arsenal fans.
One thing that's kind of interesting, I guess, is that. What I was going with whose first team place does he take at Chelsea if Alexis comes in?
Who, Alexis?
Yeah.
At Chelsea?
Yeah.
Well, again, look, when we talk about Chelsea, we talk about the inadequacy of their transfer campaign last summer. They just didn't get enough options in. They got one out, one in everywhere. They didn't improve the squad. They didn't build the numbers. So if they get Alexis in, he just becomes another option in the squad. You would say that Hazard is non-negotiable. But other than that, in the Chelsea attack. You wouldn't say that any of them have really set the world alight. You know, the likes of, I had my reservations over Morata. He started better than I thought he would, but you know, he's kind of regressed into the type of player I thought he would become for Chelsea.
Yeah, a lot of Chelsea fans are frustrated with his strike rate, aren't they? I mean, and I saw last night when all the Chelsea rumours were coming out about Alexis Sanchez, there were quite a few frustrated fans, Chelsea fans, basically thinking this is going to be another Lukaku, because obviously in the summer, all of a sudden at the last minute they came in with a potential Lukaku offer, but obviously at that point it was a done deal to Man United and they just watched as Man United.
Yeah, well, I think you know, the Lukaku deal was quite complicated. You know, I have my suspicions that maybe the agent would have preferred him to go to Man United because Zlatan had a new contract to sign and whatever. And
it's Raiola, right?
Yeah, with Mino Raiola, yeah. So I do have my suspicions.
Mkhitaryan there and Zlatan.
Yeah.
It's got a little Man United fan.
Yeah,
I think, essentially.
That's right. Yeah. So you look after Zlatan and we'll give you Lukaku.
Yeah,
that's my suspicion.
Let us know in the comment section where you think Alexis Sanchez should go, if he should leave in January, or if he should even stay at Arsenal. See how it's 6 months. And
he ain't staying at Arsenal.
I think it would be very surprising at this point, wouldn't it? In other Chelsea news, so it seems like they're after Richarlison and Andy Carroll. So Richarlison has had a fantastic season so far with Watford.
Yeah, great story from Bruno Andrade, who's our correspondent in Lisbon, and also Naz.
Yes,
is our Chelsea correspondent. So they've collaborated really well on this story, and they have the news that Chelsea are interested in Richarlison. And don't forget, this is an ambitious boy. He swerved Ajax at the last minute to go to Watford in the first place because he thought that the sort of rough and tumble nature of the Premier League would prepare him for a bigger English club rather than going to the Netherlands and then having to learn it all over again when he comes to the Premier League with a middling club. So you know, and he's got stuck straight into Premier League life. He scored a few goals and he's been one of Watford's most impressive performers. He's destined for great things. There's no doubt about that. Whether January is too early for him, I would say definitely it's too early for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think the talk is that Chelsea want to sign him in the summer, and this is just the beginning of sort of the process.
It's one to keep tabs on for the summer,
whereas,
for sure.
Whereas Andy Carroll is more of a quick, short-term loan. Get him in for 6 months, do a job in terms of backing up the striking options essentially in that team. Because at the moment, as we've said, Morata is struggling. Well, he doesn't seem to trust that.
Go back a few years. Remember when Torres left Liverpool for Chelsea and they brought in Carroll as a replacement, and all the Chelsea fans were lolling about the fact that Liverpool were signing Andy Carroll in the January transfer window. Well, they're laughing at the other side of their face now if they're going to get Andy Carroll. Look, his goal record and his fitness record just doesn't stand up to scrutiny. Yeah. I really don't know what Conte or whoever's signing the players these days at Chelsea. I don't know what they're up to go for Andy Carroll.
No,
I really don't know.
You don't see him being as a capable choice there to find them to Champions League glory or anything like that.
Well, Miles.
Andy Carroll.
No.
We're going to read out some of your user comments now before we move on to the next topic. Champions Chelsea should try to sign Alexis, says Emile.
Yeah, they have come in about that.
Yeah, and he says that Chelsea should get Richarlison, could give him a breather to Hazard in 5-4-2 formation. Plus, he is young. If Hazard does move to Madrid, he could become maybe a long-term replacement. What do you think, Peter Staunton?
I do think he's going to be a big player, Richarlison, and not at Watford. He's going to go places for sure. Whether that's at Chelsea or overseas somewhere else, I think he's going to be a big player. So maybe Chelsea can get ahead of the crown. But you know, Watford paid 80-odd million for him, so already his price is going to be 50-60 million. It's going to be huge.
The striker in the Premier League that scores goals, charge a lot. I mean, you look how much you're paying for Walcott, who scores.
Exactly, and I remember just how long ago was it that I remember Everton paying 28 million for Lukaku, and everyone putting their heads in their hands going, "Oh my God, can't believe they're paying 28 million." I mean, how quaint do those days feel now? That's unbelievable value.
Yeah, it's just changed so dramatically in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah,
it's ramped right up. So we're going to move quickly on to over in Argentina, where Carlos Tevez, everyone's favourite heist mastermind, has been causing some more waves with his comments. He essentially laughed off his year in China as a holiday.
Yeah, he's back in Boca. For a third spell.
Yeah.
Probably the only club that's ever really had his heart.
Yeah.
Although
he did leave them last
he did, but that was a good deal for Boca too.
Yeah.
And it meant that he could go and earn stupendous wages.
$40 million in the year he was in China. Yeah.
And he called it a holiday. Yeah.
So his exact words were, I was on holiday for 7 months in China. It's fine for the Shanghai coach and president to criticise me. I didn't know what I was doing there. So he's pretty open and honest about the fact that he had absolutely no intention of really being the top striker that they paid all that money for.
Well, you look around the world in any industry, and it's full of people who are in one particular place for work and nothing else. And footballers are no different. And maybe the culture, the language, and everything else was just maybe it was just a little bit too much for Carlos.
Is this proof though that the sort of methods of the Chinese Super League massive spending on players who pretty much have a notorious history of going missing. I mean, Tevez infamously went golfing.
For Shanghai Shenhua, I don't think they did their homework on Tevez. I would say that's the problem there. But you know, we talk about the Chinese Super League a little bit, but you know, you look at the guys that go and knuckle down. Axel Witsel, for example, Alex Teixeira. These guys have gone. Lavezzi. So once you get the right character in there, who are willing to, you know, to suffer the burden of being that huge player, that example for everybody at the club, for everybody in the industry, a role model. Yeah, you know that. Those
never wanted to be.
No. Those are the type of guys that. Tevez is a guy that went on strike with Man City. He was playing golf for 6 months in Argentina. You know, you just have to.
Fell out of Man City, didn't he?
Yeah, but like I say, he's back at Boca, the club that has his heart. He'll probably retire there now. Yeah. And, you know, good luck to him, because I've always admired his style as a player. And, you know, we all deserve happiness.
That's a nice message for us to nearly end on. We're just going to read out a few more user comments before we finish. We've got one from Maynard Sauce who says, I hate seeing Arsenal players leave. Now Alexis is leaving. I mean, I imagine that is painful for Arsenal fans after you've seen how well he's done.
Well, he wasn't mentioning Walcott. It's painful to see Walcott leave.
I imagine Arsenal fans aren't disappointed
But
about that.
Arsenal fans, you know... If somebody told you at the start of this window, Walcott and Alexis out, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan in, and the bonus of Malcolm, you would take that every day of the week.
Yeah. Bethel said, I don't want to see Andy Carroll. Are we here to play or joke? Chelsea should go for a striker that would bench Morata, not someone Morata would bench.
Well, one thing that Chelsea need, they do need striking options. You know, when they look at the bench and they only have Batshuayi, who hasn't done the business for them, then I can understand why Conte thinks he needs the weight of numbers. You know, he hasn't got the option of going 2 up front, for example, or nor does he have the option of putting Morata to the bench and saying, okay, I'm taking you out of the fire line while somebody else will show you how to score goals in the Premier League. So I can understand why they want numbers in. If you look at West Ham's situation as well, they couldn't get rid of Diafra Sakho in the summer. We hear that, you know, Javier Hernandez could be on the move as well. They're probably a little bit top heavy, West Ham, when it comes to getting that number of strikers into the team that David Moyes would like. So somebody's going to have to be sacrificed. Maybe it's a deal that fits for the short term, but
6 months.
For 6 months, but I
if he can stay out of injury, I mean, he is good when he is on top form, but it is the problem.
You're a Newcastle fan.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a bit biased there.
Yeah, you're a bit biased. But I just don't see him making that, graduating to that top level. I think it's a bit late in the day for Carroll to rise that high in his career.
All right, well, continue letting us know in the comment section what you make of the various signings that Chelsea are bidding for, and we're going to call it a day there. Thank you, Pete, for joining me today.
You're so welcome, Matt.
We'll be back on Thursday, same time, so join us then.